Hi guys, and welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you for stopping by. Today's video is on Tanya Tucker and Glen Campbell. Tanya Tucker, she talks about her tumultuous relationship with Glen Campbell and how she knew how to push his buttons. Back in the early 80s, Tanya Tucker and Glen Campbell had a whirlwind romance, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Country legend has been open admitting that they fought, broke up, fought some more. Drugs and alcohol certainly had a lot to do with that. At the time, Tucker was 22 years old and Campbell was 22 years her senior, around 44. For all those reasons and more, the pair was ultimately together for just around a year, to give or take a couple months, and were actually engaged briefly in '81. Campbell even threw his girlfriend a $57,000 party in LA for her 22nd birthday. Tucker has also stated before that he was the love of her life. In an interview with Dan Rather on AXS TV in 2016, she stood by that, saying she was simply too young to handle that sort of relationship at the time. She also explained that she had a part in their explosive fights, and a few years after they broke up, she slapped him figuratively with a $3 million lawsuit claiming he knocked out two of her front teeth during one particularly bad fight. He denied it. So yeah, things were bad, and it definitely doesn't sound like it was all good a lot of time. But still today, she says Campbell was the love of her life, but she was just too young to fully recognize it. She said, "I will have to take a lot of that. I will have to say that I was very young and knew how to push the buttons, and I thought that there was more fish in the sea. But looking back, I think sometimes you get the love of your life when you're too young, and you don't know how to handle it. So I think that was me. I was trying to get him off drugs, and when I was trying to help him, I got off. It was that time during the 80s, everyone was doing it. In Hollywood, it was a party favor. But I know how he is when he's straight, and you can't find a better person." Around that time, Tanya was in between record deals, and not long after they broke up, her dad came back to her help her move from California back to Nashville. Because of all the bad press she had gotten due to her wild child partying ways, she was only in her early 20s and already a very successful artist. Her dad was honest when he told her that she'd have a hard time getting re-signed with her current reputation. She ultimately inked a deal with Capitol Records and went on to put out a string of hits in One Love at a Time, Just Another Love, which became her first #1 in the U.S. in '76, and also I Won't Take Less Than Your Love, which also went to #1. Campbell and Tucker released music together, played shows together, and were even nominated for a Grammy in the Best Country Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group category for their duet Dream Lover in 1981. It was a whirlwind romance, and you have to imagine in another life they might actually worked out. Tucker clearly still loves him after all these years, which is pretty special in itself. Of course, Campbell sadly passed away in August of 2017 after a 6-year struggle with Alzheimer's. Following his death, Tanya released a song called Forever Loving You, which drew some criticism because it was released on the eve of Campbell's funeral, with some claiming it was exploitative. Still, the song is a sweet sentiment to the great love of her life, full of color photos of them together and the happy times they shared many decades ago. And you can check it out on YouTube. And there we go. I remember reading about these guys when I was young, and I was like, man, wow, he's 20 years older than her. What's that crazy? And no wonder they don't get along with drugs and all that. I was thinking about the age difference, and now I think about the age difference. And, hey, me and my wife, we're 20 years apart. What's going crazy? Anyway, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. A little bit of country this time instead of all that rock and roll. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Thank you very much. We're taking the weekend off here, and we'll be back on Memorial Day on Monday. So you guys have a great weekend. God bless you. And as always, I'm praying for you.